Hello and welcome back to 1991 Review. At the end of the previous episode, after Tan Muk's appearance, Elder Ba Sun Taita set off on a training journey with him and Lin Duk too. In front of the mountain gate, Tan Gu was teasing the Long Kai Lan, making it so angry that it steamed. The bull's posture was extremely unbecoming, standing with its legs crossed, leaning against the gate, a peony flower in its mouth. It pulled the dragon's whiskers one moment and touched the Long Kai Lan's tail the next. No wonder the gate-guarding beast hated it so much. What's more, Tan Gu put on a flirty face, lifted its chin, and said to the Long Kai Lan, "Hey there, little lady, how about we go out and have some fun? What's so great about staying here every day? I'll take you out to the bustling places. I guarantee you'll have a great time. Look at this flower, isn't it pretty? I'll give it to you to eat." Just then, Qin Mu arrived. The bull, who was just flirting, immediately hid behind Ba Sun Tae like a coward. Quick as a flash, Muk Tak took out the that Mi Hung and held it to the Long Kai Lan's nose, knocking out cold. Ho Lin Ni, standing nearby, poured a whole bottle of lemon juice into its mouth, causing its drool to flow uncontrollably. As if waiting for this moment, Tan Muk quickly collected 10 bottles of Long Tien before feeling at ease enough to depart with Ba Sun. Walking up to Ba Sun, he cunningly asked, "Can I borrow your pet, please?" Tan Gu immediately jumped up. "You can't do anything reckless. I am sworn siblings with your Lin Ni. If you eat me, my sister will fight you to the death." Tan Muk laughed and replied, "I just asked you to help me carry my luggage. You're so tense. By the way, I just took a look, and that Long Kai Lan is a male." Tan Gu looked as if it had been struck by 30 bolts of lightning. It stood frozen in place, its soul scattered, not only crying out, but also wanting to become an introvert for the rest of its life whenever it thought about the incident. Ba Sun Tae just shook his head, leading them away from the Imperial Academy and out of the capital city. It was then that Tan Gu revealed its colossal true form and rode the wind. It was very proud of its Azure Dragon bloodline, but that pride was quickly dashed when Ho Lin Ni rubbed its skin and praised, "Your hide must be very valuable. We could get a lot of great fortune coins if we took it to the market." Tan Gu broke out in a cold sweat, realizing that its sworn sister was a character no less ruthless than her master. At this point, Lin Duk too asked Ba Sun Tae too about their destination. Upon learning that they were heading to the Man Dike Kingdom and that the goal was not just ordinary training, but to retrieve the lower half of Butcher Grandpa's body, currently in the hands of the Laolon Golden Palace, the largest power in the Man Dike Kingdom, Lin Duk too couldn't help but gasp. On the way, Ba Sun Tae began training his 2 students. He had previously instructed them to go to the Heavenly Green Tower to get the cultivation techniques they needed to learn. However, when asked, Ba Sun simply handed Tan Muk 2 strange classic books, Soul-Binding Guidance and Ghost Summoning and Deity-Driving Talismanic Command, telling him to study them on his own since these techniques were known to very few people. Instead, he focused on teaching Lin Duk too the Clear Sky Lightning Guidance, a legitimate Taoist technique. Lin Duk too happily tried to move, unleashing a bolt of lightning that blew up the river's surface and caused several large fish to float belly up. But Ba Sun Tae just shook his head and said, "Princess, your foundation is too weak." He then sealed his cultivation to be at the same level as hers and demonstrated the same technique again. In an instant, dozens of lightning bolts struck down with a roar, turning the entire river's surface white. After he finished, Ba Sun declared that the goal this time was to help Lin Duk too lay a solid foundation for her martial arts. Very soon, the 3 of them reached Qin Mu Pass. As soon as a soldier saw Tan Muk, he quickly ran into the city to report. Tan Gu gleefully mocked Tan Muk, saying that a person abandoned by the great ruins would surely be executed this time. But the sound of armor echoed, and an old white-haired general, Bien Chan Ban, led 100 soldiers out, shouting, "Divine Doctor! Where's the Divine Doctor Tan?" It turned out that the pure Yang Worm refinement pill that Tan Muk had given earlier had saved countless soldiers from a Man Dike Kingdom sorcery. The entire army, including the old general, knelt on one knee to thank him. However, upon learning that they wanted to enter the Man Dike Kingdom, and were also bringing along the 7th princess, Bien Chan Van's face immediately darkened, and he said coldly, "You want to go into the Man Dike Kingdom? Do you have a death wish? If anything happens, who will bear the responsibility?" Despite the warnings, Ba Sun Tae led the group into enemy territory. They encountered a team of Man Tak cavalry riding on monstrous beasts covered in bone spikes. Just as the battle seemed about to break out, Ba Sun Tae calmly stepped onto the bull's horn and pulled back his fur coat. When the cavalry saw the tattoo on his chest, they immediately reined in their mounts, bowed their heads respectfully, and turned back. Upon arriving at the gates of the Man Dike city, they were respectfully welcomed by 2 rows of soldiers. The general guarding the pass came out and greeted them with a meaningful tone. "The peerless Marshal Kagan, the king of Our, it's been a long time since we last met." At this point, Tan Muk and Lin Duk too finally understood. It turned out that Ba Sun Tae had once dominated the grassland. winning every battle, and was revered by the Man Dike people as the martial Kagin. The spine-covered skull tattoo on his chest was a symbol blessed by the Man Dike Holy Land. Not stopping there, Ba Sun Te revealed an even more shocking secret. My master, nicknamed Heavenly Blade, was the one who limited blocked the gates of the Laolan Golden Palace back then and was honored as the Heavenly Kagin. Tan Muk was stunned. He couldn't believe that the fierce old man who used to scare children in the great ruins had such a legendary past. Ba Sun Te then declared to the Man Dike people that he would once again block the gates of the Laolan Golden Palace, as he did back then. But his real plan was to have Tan Muk and Lin Duk Tu cause a commotion outside, while he snuck inside to retrieve the lower half of Butcher's body. Will the three master and students succeed in their plan? What will happen in the gate-blocking event against the Man Dike Kingdom's greatest power? Don't forget to subscribe to 1991 Review to find out more. And now, goodbye and see you all again.